Weekly Punk Showcase, and I am here over the phone with Cappy and JJ from Grenade Radio, Cleveland melodic punk band. How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Pretty good.
Right on, man. Okay, so I'm gonna start at the beginning. Where did you guys, how'd you guys start?
We started back in April 2010, I believe. Yeah, in April, and it was pretty like normal, you know. I was looking for a band, and I heard Kid JJ was a good drummer, so like, yeah, I just like gave him a call and like, yeah, you want to play in a band, and then we started a band. And originally we were called White Minority, which was kind of a funny name because it was a take on a black, you know, the Black Flag song.
Yeah.
And like, also we got a school district where we are kind of a minority, but everyone called us racist, so then we changed it to Grenade Radio, because we were kind of sick of that. And then gradually, you know, our friend Pat, he was sort of starting to get into music. We started hanging out with him more, and then he learned bass, and he became a part of the band. So
that's awesome. Man. So, what bands like? Well, first off, the name Grenade Radio. What does that mean? Like, where did that come from?
This is all you, Kathy. Yeah, came up with it. Well, we sort of had like, when we were trying to change our name from White Minorities or something, we like spent literally hours on end, like up all night trying to come up with something good, because like we're kind of anal about good band names, so we tried like really, really hard, and pretty much it actually doesn't really mean anything, honestly. It just kind of sounds cool. I mean, that's just like a shitty answer, but yeah, it's kind of it is, yeah.
Hey, only, you know, as good as any answer, man. So what bands influence you? Like, really, really influence you?
Oh, you go first, and then I'll go. Okay, like, we have a lot of different, we got a lot of different influences, like, my favorite band of all time is Bad Religion, and I also love bands like Adolescents, Bad Brains, Gallows, the Lone Suns, GBH, just a bunch of shit, and JJ. And for me, my biggest influence, like, of all time, my favorite band is Blink-182. You can hate, I don't care, it's my favorite band. And, personal influences for me would probably be Keith Moon of The Who, and, of course, Travis Barker of Blink-182. Shit like that, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys have a lot of, like, melodic punk influences, but you also got some pop punk in there, which you can hear in the music, actually.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Okay, so, do you have any plans for a album release?
Well, at the moment we've been a little, like, we just haven't been doing much, like, writing at the moment because we've actually been really busy with our lives. We just have a lot going on right now. We've been gradually, you know, writing some songs and doing shit here and there, but we're hopefully planning sometime in the next few months to come out with an album. We just need to find, you know, someone who's willing to record us and, you know, who we can afford and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, no, we're writing some songs here and there, and we're hopefully going to come out with something sooner or later.
Awesome. Where will people be able to buy that, most likely?
On Facebook, MySpace, anything like that. We might post some songs up onto YouTube, but that's kind of a long run.
Yeah.
Maybe Facebook.
Alright, cool. So, what's, like, you guys have played a lot of shows. What are your favorite bands to play with?
Bands to play with?
Yeah.
Eye in the Sky and Scotch on the Rocks are number 2. Yeah, no, we're hoping to play with Big Ginge and the Nobodies as soon as possible.
I hear they suck.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of friends around, you know, who we play with, like, like the band called Scotch on the Rocks, an awesome ska band, Eye in the Sky, the Virtues, Vin Nibby, just a lot of our friends' bands, you know?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, definitely check out those bands, everybody listening, because it's very important to be checking out, you know, all the bands that these guys mentioned. As for Big Ginge and the Nobodies, I'll try to see if we can do a show as soon as possible, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so, if you guys can meet anybody from history, like, you know, whoever, who would you meet?
You go first. I feel like you guys have a tough one. I don't know. Probably Napoleon. He was a badass. Because he was like, I'm actually the shortest in the band, and I think that sort of relates to me because he was really short and he's just all around badass. Because he's fucking Napoleon. What about you, Jay? Probably Abraham Lincoln. Just so I could talk to him about slavery and touch his beard.
Right on, right on. Beards are good.
That's really good, yeah.
Favorite authors or philosophers? I know these have nothing to do with your music.
Probably, I'm kind of I like horror novels. I do enjoy like Stephen King and shit like that. And like when it comes in terms of philosophy, I mean, in terms of philosophy, I'd have to say Greg Graffin of Bad Religion, if you can call him one, because I mean, he's a fucking genius in every way, shape, and form.
Definitely.
Yeah, in my opinion. So.
Okay. So, do you guys have any like upcoming shows or tours?
At the moment, not too many. We're planning some though. We are trying to get some together, either at the Grog sometime soon, or just anywhere around.
Okay, so shows pending.
And next summer, we are planning a tour with two of Steve Carino's bands, Eye in the Sky and We Are Nature, which I'm in both of those as well. Yeah, so we're hopefully planning to get on the road sometime during the summer.
Awesome, dude. If you want, I can post some of the links to your other bands. Just hit me up with those links or wherever I can find that music online.
Absolutely. Cool.
Yeah, so, how do you guys go about writing songs? Like, who writes the lyrics, who writes the parts and everything? Do you guys just, like, all jam together until shit comes up?
We basically do a little bit of all of that, what you just said. We either sometimes we'll all just jam together and we'll be like, hey, that sounds pretty cool, or something like that. But I'd say most of the time we, I usually either me or Pat, the other songwriter in the band, we just kind of come with some basic idea, and you know, there's the chords and shit, and we just pretty much, we all add our little inputs on them too. Yeah, like they'll play me a song, and I'll just basically put a drum part over it and make it sound badass, you know? Yeah.
Awesome. So, where do your lyrics come from?
Lyrics come from, well, moi. And the lyrics just come from pretty much everyday life. Actually, you know what? Lyrics mainly come from hours and hours upon sitting in class, not paying attention, thinking about the world and how fucked up it is, and how everyone sucks, and how I hate everyone, and a bunch of that shit, you know, just everything that, you know, pisses you off, and I don't know, and I put it in some sort of poetic sort of thing to it. I just try, and I don't know, it comes from hours and hours of thinking, really.
Awesome, man. So that leads me to my next question. What really gets you really pissed? That's for both of you.
Alright. Gets me really pissed. Well, one's a serious one, one's not. When people piss on the toilet seat, that really pisses me off, because that's just gross. Yeah, and the second thing probably at the moment what's pissing me off most is, you know what, have you heard about this protests going on on Wall Street right now?
Wall Street, yeah, definitely.
I've seen lots of videos and watched the news of cops, you know, being like using their brutality like against a lot of those people, and they're not doing anything. And that's it. Like that, I was watching a video earlier last night, and it pissed me off. Like it really pissed me off. Like I got legitimately angry at that video. I almost punched my goddamn computer screen. So that's just what's pissing me off most right now. What about you?
I have to agree with you, man.
For me, really just like authority, honestly, like I can't really even explain it, like a higher authority trying to tell you how to live your life. That's what pisses me off the most.
Alright, man. I can't disagree with either of you guys on that one, man. So, how do you guys feel about the punk scene right now? Like, how do you think it's going? What would you like to change? Whatever. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, well, the punk scene right now, in different places, it's alive and well in a lot of certain places, depending on where you look at it. I mean, Cleveland right now, it's not the hot spot for punk, but I'd say there's some decent bands over here. But in general, like worldwide, I'd say that it's not as, you know, lively as maybe it should be. But I think that you know, every single day there's a new punk rock show going on somewhere, like either at some concert club or some kid's basement. So you know what? I'd say it's alive and well. Honestly, for me, I think like the hardcore kind of punk is kind of dying down, which honestly makes me sad. But the pop punk scene is very lively and very well, in my opinion.
All right, glad to hear it. So like, what underground bands do you guys like?
Underground bands.
Maybe some bands that you wouldn't normally hear on the radio or anything, you know.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Like at the moment, there's a lot of I don't know. You mean like local bands, or just like all around underground?
Whatever, man.
I could sit here and give you name upon name upon name. But I'd say, Stuff Fucking Hipsters. They're coming out with a brand new album, and they are fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's Esdiza from Leftover Crack and Choking Victim, and he's like a god in my eyes, and he's just awesome. And I think that like Stuff Fucking Hipsters are like an amazing underground band.
Awesome, dude.
Just one example.
Yeah. So what's your favorite album that recently came out that you've heard that you just like got into?
At the moment,
Yeah.
I'd say, Bad Religion's my new album, The Descent of Man, because, well, first off, they're my favorite band of all time, and it's just, every song is just brilliant, in my opinion, I think. It's plain and simple. It's just amazing. Yeah, it's the same thing for me. You know, the Blink-182 new album, Blink-182's new album that just came out, Neighborhood, I've been basically listening to it, like, nonstop. Yeah, it's pretty good, too.
Awesome. So back to a political question. If you could beat Bush, George W. Bush, what would you say to him?
If I could beat him, I wouldn't really say anything as much as do things to him, like stab him to death and, you know, like tax rate and, you know, rip out his balls and, like, I don't know, just bad things to him.
JJ?
Yeah, and I would shake his hand and thank him for giving us, as a nation, a person to hate.
Very good, very true.
I'd still rip out his balls.
So, individually, what got you guys into the punk scene originally?
Gotta be honest, Tony Hawk games. Tony Hawk games, like when I was like maybe in second grade, I remember playing Tony Hawk and then hearing like, you know, like the amazing soundtrack. I remember hearing bands like Lagwagon, and that was the first time I ever heard Bad Religion too. And I was like, wow, this is like amazing music. I want more of this. So I just, you know, did my research, went to the record store every now and then, and got myself into it. And for me, my older sister actually did. She gave me a CD of The Used, Lies for the Liars, and that gradually became bands like Blink-182 and Bad Religion and Anti-Flag and all that good shit.
Cool. So, why do you think it appealed to you, like, personally?
Why does it appeal to us?
Yeah, why do you think it, like, appealed to you? Why do you think you were so interested into it?
I don't know, really. That's a really hard question because, you know, when I got into my shit, like, I was really young. I didn't really know much about the world yet. And I think it just struck a good note with me because it was fast, it was serious, and I was a very hyperactive, crazy kid. And I liked it. It was just something that I think represented my personality then, and I think it still perfectly does now. For me, it's the drum tracks, honestly, always intrigued me because it always showed me how fast a drummer could play, but yet so intricately a drummer could play. And then, like, just the fast, hardcore, like, raw sound that they just give off just always appealed to me.
Awesome. So, your song, Step Into Revolution, that's what it's called, right? I didn't miswrite that.
Yeah.
All right. At the beginning, they mentioned someone named Billy. Is that a real person, or is he more of a symbol?
Billy is a complete symbol for just any kid that, you know, feels sort of lost in a world that kind of sucks. It's not a specific person. It can mean you, it can mean me, it can mean anyone.
Awesome. Gotta say, that's one of my favorite songs you guys have ever released. Definitely have to hear that one live someday.
Oh, you will, sir. Trust me.